This is where you do that final analyzation, because you have the hair in, the background is in, the shirt. I have it kind of roughed and I don't know how much more detail I will do. But what you want to do at this point is start comparing values. And this side of the face needs to be much darker. So I'm going to come in with my darkest again and add this on. You also have to somewhat think about color. Is it not the color that you want it to be? If it's too purplish, you can work your dark values into some raw sienna. Or put in your dark values and then decide if you think some raw sienna is necessary. I really liked the pink reflecting off of her shirt, and so I'm actually going to come back in with some of that color. This is just a dry brush, but it is the glazing process because you're putting a transparent layer of paint over a dried underpainting. So whether you use an extender or not, if it's dry and you're putting transparent color over the top, then it's considered a glaze. And so if you've heard that term and it's almost bandied about like it's some magic cure-all, but it's used so much in oil painting because that's what gives oils that luminosity, is having those layers, those transparent layers. Light gets trapped and bounces back, and it just looks luminous. But it's these strong darks, they're very important because otherwise your portrait looks half-baked. So don't be afraid to come in, especially on the side of the dark, and put on a darker value. If you don't know where to place the darks, again, maybe have that black and white out that you made. Maybe squint. Check to see if you have enough blush tone down. Where blush would go is where the dark and the medium meet. And I just put just an eyelash of red on my brush, and I'm putting that on just where the dark and the medium meet to act as a transition and to give it the look again of blush or youth. I did that just to smooth it a little bit. Then I feel like I almost at this point approach the painting as if it were a still life, because what you want to do now is come in and try to find those real strong lights, because again it's the contrast between lights and darks that are going to create that final excitement. And I'm just looking at my photo, and there's some glints right in this area. Another little glint. I'm using my lightest flesh tone. You might even have to make up a lighter one yet, just with warm white. This is almost, well, you are adding shines to the face. Children seem to always be running around and get just a little sweaty, so this isn't a bad plan to come back and add these sparks of light. Maybe one more time in the eye. And in the white of the eye, maybe that pass-through light. You can add a few more glints to the hair if necessary. Put a little bit here also, just to show how moist the eye is. You can add a little bit light in that area. I feel like on the lips, they could be made a smidge darker. But you start off painting your painting very, very broad. So we started our painting extremely broad with just the planes of the face, and now in a big brush, and now coming back in with a small brush and looking for little tiny opportunities to add lights and darks to create a more realistic looking portrait. And if this is your first time out painting a portrait of a child, the next time it'll be easier. You'll just take what you learned this time and apply it to the next time. I think it's children are pretty tricky to paint because they don't have a lot of serious characteristics like adults do. No wrinkles, no bags. And so there's not a lot to grab onto to create all of the unique things that make it, the person that you want it to look like. And so just take your transparency out and see if it doesn't look exactly like your person, take your transparency out and see if you can figure out why. Always check the jawline. Check the shape of the eyes. Just check all of the individual characteristics. And sometimes you actually have to exaggerate some of the characteristics to make it look more like your person. I think Anna Marie's most distinct feature are her beautiful eyes, and so I think I probably made them a little brighter and a little jazzier than the photo, just because that's what makes Anna Marie, and plus her curly hair, curly wild hair, and so kind of accentuated that also. And then to top it off, just kind of accentuated her little shy smile. So that's what you can do, is just accentuate things that make your person distinct. Also read through the reference material and see all the different things that you can do to make a child's portrait look like a child versus a mini adult. And that should help a bit as well. So I think I'll continue to play with my little spotter brush until I make my portrait as perfect as it can be. It's pretty pleased with it overall, but as usual, I'll put it away for a few days and see what I can come up with, looking at it with a fresh eye. So go ahead and start on your portrait. Remember all of the tips on choosing the photo. I think poor photo choice is usually the biggest downfall. So review that as well. And good luck, and we'll see you next time.